Have you ever noticed how exhausting it is to always appear strong? Not physically, emotionally. To walk into every room acting like you're fine. To answer, "I'm good," when you're not. To carry disappointments, frustrations, and silent battles without letting anyone see them. At some point, many people stop living and start performing. They become the reliable one, the calm one, the strong one. And little by little, they forget what it feels like to simply be human. The strange part is that the world often rewards this behavior. People admire composure. They praise resilience. They respect those who never seem affected. But what happens when that strength becomes a prison? What happens when you're no longer allowed to feel tired, hurt, confused, or afraid? Most people spend years trying to become emotionally untouchable. They want criticism to stop hurting. They want rejection to stop bothering them. They want betrayal to stop leaving scars. But the harder they fight against pain, the more power pain gains over them. Because what you resist doesn't disappear. It waits. It hides beneath distractions, achievements, busy schedules, and carefully crafted identities. Then, one day, a small comment ruins your mood. A setback crushes your confidence. A rejection feels bigger than it should. And suddenly, you realize the wound never left. You just learned how to avoid looking at it. Real strength begins the moment you stop asking, "How do I avoid pain?" and start asking a different question. What is this pain trying to teach me about myself? Because freedom is not becoming someone who feels nothing. Freedom is becoming someone who understands everything they feel. The illusion. You think the world is hurting you. Most people spend their lives fighting the wrong enemy. They believe their suffering comes from other people. The rude comment. The broken promise. The friend who disappeared. The relationship that ended without explanation. And on the surface, that seems true. After all, those events happened. The disappointment was real. The loss was real. But if external events alone created suffering, everyone would react the same way. Yet they don't. One person loses a job and rebuilds. Another loses a job and loses themselves. One person receives criticism and improves. Another carries that criticism for years. The event is the same. The impact is different. Why? Because life doesn't affect us equally. It touches different wounds in different people. A harsh comment rarely hurts because of the words themselves. It hurts because it confirms a fear already living inside us. A rejection feels unbearable when it awakens an old belief that we're not enough. A betrayal becomes devastating when it collides with wounds we never healed. This is the illusion most people never question. They spend years trying to control the world around them, trying to be more likable, more successful, more careful, more perfect, as if perfect behavior could guarantee protection from pain. But it never does. The world remains unpredictable. People change. Circumstances change. Life changes. And the person trying to control everything ends up exhausted. The deeper truth is uncomfortable but liberating. Your greatest vulnerability is not what happens outside of you. It is what remains unresolved within you. The moment you understand that, your focus changes. You stop trying to manage every person, every outcome, every opinion, and you begin the only work that creates lasting peace. Understanding yourself. The unseen control, the unconscious, is running you. One of the most uncomfortable truths you'll ever discover is this: you are not always making your own decisions. You may think you are. You may believe your reactions, fears, desires, and choices are completely yours. But much of what drives your life operates beneath the surface. Invisible, unquestioned, automatic. Think about the last time someone said something that instantly ruined your mood. Why did it affect you so deeply? Why did those words stay in your head long after the conversation ended? Most people never stop to ask. They simply react. And then they call that reaction reality. But what if the problem wasn't the comment? What if it was the meaning your mind attached to it? The truth is that every person carries an invisible emotional history. Old disappointments, unresolved fears, memories they rarely think about but still obey. A man spends years chasing success because he secretly fears being insignificant. A woman constantly seeks approval because she learned early that love had to be earned. Someone avoids relationships because vulnerability once led to pain. On the surface, these behaviors seem rational. Underneath, they are often unconscious attempts to protect old wounds. This hidden part of the mind quietly shapes how you see the world. It influences what triggers you, what attracts you, what scares you, and most importantly, it influences what controls you. The danger is not that these patterns exist. The danger is remaining unaware of them. Because what remains unconscious does not disappear. It simply takes the steering wheel while you convince yourself you're in control. This is why many people repeat the same mistakes for years. Different faces, different jobs, different circumstances, the same patterns, the same outcomes, the same suffering. Real change begins when you stop asking, "Why does this keep happening to me?" and start asking, "What part of me keeps recreating this experience?" That question changes everything, because awareness is where freedom begins. And what you can see clearly can no longer control you from the shadows. Integration, the real meaning of strength. Most people misunderstand strength. They imagine a person who never breaks, never doubts, never feels afraid. Someone who moves through life untouched by criticism, rejection, or failure. But that image is not strength. It's performance. And performances are exhausting. The strongest people are rarely the ones who feel nothing. They are the ones who no longer need to hide what they feel. There is a huge difference. Many spend their lives fighting parts of themselves. They reject their insecurity, suppress their anger, hide their sadness, deny their fear. They divide themselves into acceptable parts and unacceptable parts. Then they wonder why they feel disconnected, why they feel tired, why they never experience peace. You cannot find peace while fighting yourself. Every emotion you refuse to acknowledge remains alive beneath the surface, waiting, influencing your decisions, shaping your behavior, demanding attention. Real strength begins when you stop treating parts of yourself like enemies. Not because those parts are comfortable, but because they are yours. The fear, the jealousy, the loneliness, the self-doubt. Ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. Understanding them changes your relationship with them. Imagine standing in front of a storm. Most people either run from it or get consumed by it. But there is a third option: to stand still, to observe, to understand, and to remain present. That is emotional maturity, not the absence of emotion. The ability to remain conscious in the presence of emotion. When you learn to face your inner world honestly, something remarkable happens. Criticism loses some of its sting. Rejection loses some of its power. Fear loses some of its authority. Not because life becomes easier, but because you become whole. You stop wasting energy pretending to be someone else. You stop chasing an impossible version of perfection. And for the first time, you stand firmly on your own ground. That is real strength. Not becoming invulnerable, but becoming complete. Because the person who accepts all parts of themselves cannot be easily shaken by the opinions of others. At the end of all this, there is one truth that becomes impossible to ignore. The goal was never to become immune to life. Life will still challenge you. People will still disappoint you. Plans will still fall apart. You will still experience loss, uncertainty, and moments when everything feels heavier than it should. That part never changes. What changes is you. Most people spend years searching for safety in the wrong places. They look for it in money, in relationships, in status, in the approval of strangers. They believe that if they can just arrange life perfectly, they will finally feel at peace. But peace was never hiding in perfect circumstances. It was hiding behind self-understanding. The person who knows themselves deeply moves through life differently. Not because they avoid pain, because they no longer fear it. They understand their triggers. They recognize their patterns. They notice when fear is speaking. They notice when old wounds are trying to take control. And in that moment, they gain something powerful. A choice. That is what awareness gives you. The space between what happens and how you respond. The space where freedom lives. Without awareness, every emotion becomes an order. Every criticism becomes a threat. Every setback becomes proof that something is wrong. But with awareness, you begin to see clearly. You realize that thoughts are not commands. Emotions are not dictators. And painful experiences are not permanent definitions of who you are. You stop reacting to every wave. You learn how to stand in the middle of the storm without becoming the storm. That is the kind of strength worth pursuing. Quiet, steady, unshakable. Not because nothing affects you, but because you finally understand yourself well enough to remain grounded when it does. So, as you leave this video, remember this. The greatest freedom is not controlling the world around you. It is no longer being controlled by the world within you. And that journey begins with a simple decision: to become aware, to become honest, to become whole.